Let me go through this one, right?
Okay.
All right, so here we want to find the missing angles. We've got all these different letters. And what we want to find is using the rules of geometry in the previous part that we've seen, where we've got angles on a straight line and we've got parallel lines and we've got corresponding angles. I'm not really looking at the reason for now, but each of these do have a reason. I'll just mention it though. Okay, if I don't write it down. Okay, so looking at the first question here, if I want to start with this question here, I can start with y, b, or x. Y, we can see it's pretty easy. It's a crossroad. This is equal to this. Immediately, you can see y equals 60 degrees. The reason is also because of vertically opposite angles. So I'll just state it there anyway, okay? Because they equal. And then if I take 60, it's the same as x. They're both corresponding, and there's an F shape. They're both in the same corner. So I can see that x will equal 60 degrees, and a reason is corresponding angles, which are equal. And then angles on a straight line add up to 180. And so B equals 120 degrees, because if this is 120, it'll add up to 180. And that's angles, adjacent angles on a straight line for each of those. Okay, so B here will be 60 degrees. And over here we've got, this was 60 degrees as well. It could also be alternate to Y as well. Okay, next question. If I want to find C and D, I can do this in maybe 2 or 3 different ways. I can first find D, which is angles on a straight line. All right, so let's say I did method 1. I find D. D equals to 40, okay, because of angles on a straight line. If I don't need to write the reason, that's okay. But if I do, then it will be angles on a straight line. If this is 40, then those 3 angles add up to 180. So 40 plus 95 plus C equals 180. And so if I take C equals to 180 minus 40 minus 95, I'll get 140 minus 95. And 140 minus 95 using a calculator will come to 45 degrees. And so C equals to 45 degrees. Angles in a triangle equals 180 degrees would be the reason. Method number 2, I use the exterior angle of a triangle, and I go C plus 95 equals 140. And so C equals 140 minus 95, which is 45. And the reason is just a little different, exterior angle of a triangle. So if I'm given 2 angles in this angle, I can minus it because that plus that equals 140. And then D, I can go back again, angles in a straight line, or I could go angles in a straight line here. D equals 40 degrees. I can use either angles in a triangle equals 180, not, and then, so those are angles in a triangle, and then angles on a straight line. Okay, next one. If I want to find E, I've got to use the formula 180 times n minus 2. Let's count the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sides. So that means n will be equal to 7. 7 minus 2 is 5. We take 180 and we multiply it by 5. 180 times 5 is 900. And so this will come to 900. That means that all of these angles add up to 900. So to get E, I take 900 and I minus all the other angles. I minus 120, I minus 100, I minus 95, I minus 130, minus 130, I minus 120. I could even add all of it up and minus it afterwards. If I did this correctly, hopefully, if I chose the angles correctly, which was quite random, let's see what it gets. 100 minus 95 minus 130 minus 130 minus 120 comes to 205. Okay, according to this says it should be 205 degrees. Let's double check that. I got 120 plus 100 plus 130 plus 130 plus 120 plus 95 is 695. So all of this is 695. If I can add properly. 900 minus 695, double check my answer, 205. So this is a reflex angle. That means that this is not drawn correctly. And you could get asked that in a question. You could get asked that in a question, redraw so that it resembles your answer in the first part. Hypothetically, if that was the case, then we'll redraw this, okay, which is going to be all the other angles as is, right? So that's my dog. And from here, this angle here is going to go all the way up there, okay? And this would go down like that, okay? So probably really carefully, this would go up till there, and this would go down, but it has to end up at 205. 205 is over 180 degrees, so it goes past 180, it goes a little higher. So something like that. Still got 7 sides, and I've now rewritten it so that it resembles it. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I got 8 sides, so I added an extra side. Let's remove that quickly. Let's go back again. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. There we go. Now that angle over there will be E. Like that. All right, and that would be redraw. We could say a sketch. You could say sketch if it's not too accurate. And all the other angles would be as is. Now it's a reflex angle, and that's what that should actually be based on the fact that it's 205 degrees. 205 degrees, remember, it will start from 0. They can go to 90, 180, 270. So if you're going all the way to 205, you're going to end up here, in which case that angle there has to have a bend like that, right? So it can't have 180. It's got to bend further than 180, an extra 25 degrees more. Okay, and that will be the answer for that one. Okay, so now what we'll do in the next part, we'll move on to some Pythagoras theorem.